Hey y'all, it's Siobhan Muir. Happy Halloween! Okay, so it's not quite Halloween yet, but it is the month of Halloween. So we thought we'd start doing some October treats to get everybody in the mood, right? Yep, in the mood. All right, so one of the things I discovered this recipe by accident. One year, I made skull cake because I have this really cool skull pan for making skull muffins, and I thought, oh, that's really cool for Halloween. And then one year I was making muffins, and I thought, oh, I'll do some like blueberry or blackberry muffins. They're gonna be so yummy. And I was following the recipe. I hadn't gotten my pan yet. I was following the recipe, and they said add the berries. So I added the berries, and then I took my hand mixer and I added the berries, and it turned the batter like a dark purple. But when I cooked it, it looked like they were burned, like they were, cold and rotting. And I thought, skull pan, purple batter, yes. So what we're going to do today is we're going to make mixed berry skull cakes. And they'll be gluten-free. But because I'm going to capitalize on my mistake and make a whole batter on purpose. So let's start with the one thing you will need, though, is you'll need the master muffin recipe. And this is a recipe I found online. I'm trying to think if I wrote it down who it was. By Sally's Bake Blog. Okay? Sally's Baking Addiction. She is the one that came up with the master muffin recipe. That the neat thing is, this is the basics, and then on the back she has a list of all the different ways you can make it. So you can actually make all your muffins this way with just these little adjustments on the back. So what are you going to need for the master muffin recipe? You're going to need 1 3/4 cups all-purpose flour, and of course we are using the Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1 baking flour. It's gluten-free. So 1 3/4. I just didn't want all this extra. All right, 1. Really?
Those are the quarters.
Yes, but you could do 3 of these, or you could do a half and 1 of these, or you could do my orange.
No, just do 3 of those.
All right.
Less stuff being dirty.
I see. That's one way of looking at it. All right. 1 3/4, literally 1 3 of these.
I was like, I didn't do my math wrong, so. And you looked at me like, what are you doing? I was like,
1 teaspoon of baking powder. So right here. 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Then I need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. The big bag. That's what happens when you shop at like Sam's or Costco. All right, 1 teaspoon of that. Half a teaspoon of salt. Okay, half a teaspoon of salt. And half a teaspoon, let me see, if we're gonna do this one, half a teaspoon of cinnamon. Sometimes for this master recipe, you don't add the cinnamon depending on what kind of muffin you're making. So I said, whisk the flour and baking powder and baking soda, cinnamon and salt together, and then set aside. There we go. And set aside. Okay. Now. All right. So I suppose I should have gone over the list of ingredients, but you are going to need 1 3/4 cup of all-purpose flour, a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda, a half teaspoon of salt, half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. You're going to need a cup or a half a cup of unsalted butter softened to room temperature. Then you'll need, this one says 3/4 cup of brown sugar, but because of the way we're making this particular recipe, we're only going to do a half a cup of packed brown sugar. It's right here.
Go down with it right quick.
2 eggs at room temperature, half a cup of sour cream, and 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla, which we'll have to get out. And then a 1/4 cup of milk. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glaze these ones. So once they're baked, we will glaze them, and we're going to do a special glaze because it's Halloween. Okay, so now that we are going to start in on the second, in a large bowl, using a handheld mixer, beat the butter on high until smooth and creamy for about a minute. So we're going to put the butter in the bowl and beat it on high for about a minute. All right, ready?
Yeah.
So what happens when you have to hit the timer? You might as well just count it. All right, and then add the brown sugar and beat on high until creamed, about 2 minutes. That one you could probably set 2 minutes.
I'll do that right now.
Good plan.
I don't feel like counting 120 seconds.
What? Okay, so then we're going to need a half a cup of sour cream. So.
Yes. We're good.
All right. So it should be kind of fluffy and pasty. That's basically what you're looking for. Add the eggs, sour cream, and vanilla. Beat on medium for about a minute. So we'll do the eggs. Ooh, almost lost that shell. Go me.
That's kind of fun.
It is kind of fun.
Figured I'd set them in it now.
Plan. And then we need a small spatula.
Okay.
Eggs, sour cream, and vanilla.
Yep.
And I think it's 1.5
Yep.
of vanilla. 1.5. That's a lot of vanilla.
That is a lot of vanilla.
Okay. Very good. Okay, so it's kind of got a chunky look to it. That's what it's supposed to look like. Okay, and then it says, pour the dry ingredients and the wet ingredients and beat on low speed for just combined. Add the milk and continue. But mix 1.5 cups of berries into the batter on step 4. This is where you have to mix it in with the mixer. Normally you would fold them in very carefully and all that stuff. Not this. We're gonna pulverize them. That's the way we're doing it. All right, so we need 1.5 cups of this stuff. We happen to have a triple berry mix, which has blueberries, blackberries, and raspberries in it. You can find it at Walmart. Just gonna add a little more. Ta-da! What do you think?
Yeah. You'd add those last.
Yep. No, I'm gonna want to add them to the wet ingredients before I add the dry. Now these are hard because they're frozen. It'll be fine.
All right.
Well, this one turned out more red than that. Might be work. That you can have vampire cakes. Not a problem. Not a problem. Okay. So first it says, pour the dry ingredients to the wet ingredients and beat on low speed until just about combined. So, you know what? Go ahead and just put them in there.
The whole thing?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Sure?
We'll do half. All right,
Yeah.
do half.
Okay. I'm like,
Yeah, a little more.
okay.
Here you go. Good.
That's more. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it's only quarter.
Okay.
I only use quarter of it because I'm blind.
Okay.
Gosh. I don't know.
So I'm only supposed to use half of this. Is that what you're telling me?
Only use half of it. And I'll do something else with the other quarter of the cup because I'm not with it today. Yeah, that's
Did
pretty
I
good. Maybe
get
a little
it?
more. There you go. Yeah, that looks
How
good.
do I do?
Oh, you've got a lot to go.
Oh, I do?
Yeah. Yep, good enough.
That's good enough?
Yep. Is this the purple you remember?
No, the one I did was even darker. Beat on low until combined.
Okay.
Now, spoon batter evenly into each cup or liner, filling all the way up to the top. Bake the muffins for 5 minutes on 425, which is what we're doing. But,
Okay. Oh, and that's 425 Fahrenheit.
yes. I think it needs another quarter cup of sugar.
Really?
Mhm.
I thought it was good.
It is good, but taste it. What do you think? Yeah. When in doubt, add sugar. I love these things say easy zip tab, and you're like,
Yeah.
so much for easy zipping. Yeah. Okay, this is sprayed.
Is spray?
And in case we have extra that, you know, more than just goes into the skull cakes, we are prepared for smaller cupcakes or smaller muffins with
Cute little liners.
the cute liners that are very Halloween-y.
Which I will...
Happy Halloween, scary. That's what it says. Scary. All right, but we are going to start with not getting our recipe all covered. Now that's about the right color for very dark cakes. Okay. Okay. So then you fill up the skull cakes with the batter. And I'm going to do 1 scoop per skull cake to start. Just so that we can get it. Still kind of cracks me up though that I did this by mistake.
And now you're doing it on purpose.
And now I'm doing it on purpose. I've been waiting to do this. Waiting for October, like, ooh, is it time yet? Is it time? I'm making a huge mess.
I see that. I was kind of, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
I'm making a huge mess.
Maybe I should have gotten you a label.
Well, maybe for the others, yeah. But
It's not too messy though, because she's like,
no, it's the most useless ladle we own. It's cute and useless. Let's start with that and then let's fill up the other ones and then we can, or do you want me to fill in these?
It's up to you. Because how much do you want these to be full and grand and such? And how many of the extras do you want?
Well, I think
Like maybe fill in
that one, yeah.
that one particularly.
There we go. And maybe these two?
Yeah, and well, a little bit in that one too.
Okay.
Do you need a over there?
A paper towel?
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
It's gonna be great. Wow, this is cold. You want to wash your hands?
I will. I'm gonna wash my hands, but I wanted to get the first bit.
Okay.
You'll want to clean up your counter as soon as the stuff gets on there because this does have blueberries and blackberries in it, and it can stain. All right. So we do have enough left over.
Yeah. You won't even need to fill it that much.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, would it be better with a big spoon like a metal spoon, rather than the ladle? Trying to be efficient as well as have enough dexterity. Okay, now the recipe says bake for 5 minutes because you want to kind of harden the top at 425 degrees Fahrenheit. Keeping the muffins in the oven, reduce the oven temperature to 350 or 177 degrees Celsius and bake for an additional 15 to 18 minutes. What I have found is that you're gonna need the full 18 because they won't be completely solid. Total time on these muffins is anywhere from 22 to 23 minutes. So, let's put these things in there.
There's these two.
Right. Set this set over here. And this one over here. All right, so in 5 minutes, we're gonna reduce the heat. We're not gonna show you that. That's something that's, all you have to do is hit your oven and reduce the heat. So in 5 minutes, you reduce the heat. And then in about 18 minutes after that, we'll pull them out. So we'll see you in about 23 minutes. All right, so because we are making, it looked really red, didn't it? But it was starting to look more purple by the end.
It looked really purple to me.
Yeah, so they're either going to be vampire cakes, which vampire skull cake sounds kind of cool, or they're going to be more of that dark purple, black, burnt, whatever. It's Halloween. You do you. So what we're gonna do though is we decided we would glaze them at the top because these are technically berry muffins. And they will taste good, I promise you. They might look burnt, but they won't be. But what we're gonna do on the top is we're gonna make a blood red glaze because why not? It's Halloween. So to make your glaze, you're going to need, we're gonna start with a half a cup of powdered sugar. And half a teaspoon of vanilla. I think that'll be enough.
Well, in case it isn't, I'm gonna leave it out just to make sure.
Half a teaspoon of vanilla. And start with a tablespoon of milk. If you add too much milk, it becomes too runny and it doesn't stick to your muffins. So, since we had all this extra milk, oops. I'm just going to add that much milk.
We can leave this in the milk for now.
Okay. We might want to add a little more sugar to make it thicker.
That's what I was thinking.
So maybe a quarter cup of...
I was just gonna do a little bit.
I would do a quarter.
How does it taste?
I would do well, it's gonna be sweet. So here's the trick. We're gonna add some red food coloring to our glaze.
That's really bright.
It is really
You're
bright.
gonna want it way darker.
You want it darker?
Yeah.
I don't know, I kind of like the bright, because we're already gonna have dark cupcakes. Oh yeah, that's the right thickness. You want darker red?
A little bit, yeah.
Do we have another red?
No, exactly.
I think we have.
Yeah. There we go.
So the final thing is 1 tablespoon of 1 tablespoon of milk. You're going to need 3/4 of a cup of powdered sugar, and it makes it nice and thick. So when you pour it over your skull cakes and cupcakes, you'll have a nice thick red glaze to add to your Halloween treats. So we'll set that aside. You're going to want to let when the cakes come out, you'll want to let them cool a little bit. Otherwise, this stuff will melt so much that it won't even stay on top of the cakes. So you want to let them cool for about, I'd say 5 to 10 minutes, so they kind of release all that heat. Put them on a wire rack so that they cool faster. And the skull cakes you're gonna have to cool in the pan. The other cupcakes you can take out and let them cool on the rack, but wait for them to cool enough so then you can add your red glaze. All right, so we'll see you soon. All right, so we're gonna let these sit. Do you see they look burnt? They totally look burnt. But we're gonna let these things sit for about 10 minutes before we glaze them, and then we're going to add our red glaze. We'll see you soon.
It's not nice. Are you just gonna zigzag over the top? That's what I was thinking you'd do.
Yeah, I could do that. All right, should we do this? Okay, so if your glaze has been sitting a while, you are going to want to, stir it again to get it back to its kind of liquid state. All right. Should we do this?
Yeah. Do you want to start with the skulls or start with these?
Okay, let's try it more up this way.
Yes. That's what I was thinking about.
Yeah, well,
I just set the like.
that one's a murder scene.
Yeah, and crime scene. I just sat there like, yeah, that's not what I was going for.
It looks like he's wearing a mask. Sorry.
A little bit. That's okay. Watch it dribble. Watch. Look at this going down the side. Look. No, wait. You didn't need to add. I just wanted you to watch.
It is moving. What do you think?
I think it's good.
All right. There you go. I would rinse the daylights out of that.
Here. There will be soaking.
Halloween treats. Look. Are dark. They are berry muffins. They are berry muffins, and but they're the Halloween skull cakes with little extras. And do you see? They really are dark. They really look like they're burnt. They are not. It's just the blueberries and the blackberries. This is my happy mistake. So always, always enjoy your happy mistakes. So, I guess we will. That's it. It's very simple. You just basically make the muffin recipe, and then you can make your own glaze of any kind, really. And then you decorate them. I love how some of this stuff actually pooled in the eye sockets. So yes, definitely please subscribe to the channel, like the video, ring the bell so that you know when new videos are posted, and comment. Let us know what you think. You know, let us know if you've tried it and how maybe you made a different flavored glaze. We did vanilla. Well, red vanilla, but let us know. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Happy making, happy baking, happy eating, and happy reading. See you later.